Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Canadian Football Central, CFL content for the fans, by the fans, and we got another signing of a player to an NFL futures contract as Saskatchewan Roughriders star receiver Dohnte Meyers has been signed by the Cincinnati Bengals to an NFL futures deal. Now, firstly, before we get into anything crazy, this video is for two different purposes. Saskatchewan fans, what are you losing? Cincinnati Bengal fans, what are you gaining? So, Dohnte Meyers, he had only played 2 seasons in the CFL. He had played in 2024 as well as 2025. In his first year, he only had 4 games played, 30 targets, 24 receptions for 349 receiving yards. He had 78 yards after catch of that with 1 touchdown. He averaged 14.5 with his longest reception being 33 yards. However, in 2025, he stepped into a bigger role, became a 1,000-yard receiver with 15 games played, 87 targets, 65 receptions, 1,056 receiving yards, 399 yards after catch, 8 touchdowns, an average of 16.2, so an increase over his first year, and his longest being a 70-yard reception. Which is crazy considering that this guy's only 25 years old. Like, he is very young. He is the same age as my brother. So for anyone who watches the Nolan Hockey Podcast, where it's me and my brother, that'll provide some context. He was born in Atlanta, went to school at Delta State. Although he wasn't just there, he was also in, is that Presbyterian? Is that how you say that? Oh my goodness, that is a long name. Where he played college, played 2 years there. And then 2 years at Delta State, where he had done relatively decent, and then kind of found his way through that to the CFL. Now, one of the big questions is kind of how we'll see this guy adjust and potentially what kind of role he can play there. He was a good deep ball receiver for the Riders, but then at times they also used him as a possession receiver. So he was kind of one of their jack of all trades kind of guys. What do you think about this move? Rick?
Well, a couple of things. We're going to call the kettle black, and had you played the 3 other games and not been injured or sat out however it was?
Yeah. I think it probably would have continued.
He could have been potentially a top 4 receiver in yards.
Yeah. If he had played the full season, yes.
Because, I mean, if you really think about it, between that and 3rd in the year, it's only 200 yards. You could have easily have gotten 200 yards in 3 games.
Yeah.
So just to give some NFL Cincinnati fans some backstory on this whole thing is because me and Carter always bring up the whole mentality of next man up.
Yep.
Well, when you have probably 2 or 3 of Saskatchewan's receivers go down due to injury, him and Keyshawn Johnson, another receiver on their team, became probably their 4th and 5th receivers to their top 2 receivers.
Are you talking 2024, his first year, kind of when he got?
No, I'm talking this past season.
I see. Yep.
So just remember, just because, it all comes down to depth charts, you got to have that mentality that if someone goes down,
yeah,
like, I hate to say it, it takes one person to get injured, and yeah, you feel bad for them because they're your teammate, but all it takes is that one person to get injured for you to really show your true potential, and now look at what it gets you.
Yeah. No, I imagine that. So this, I'm a guy. I like Dohnte Meyers as a receiver. I have a lot of respect for that, and I definitely agree with what you're saying in regards to that. He was kind of a benefactor of that next man up mentality, where we've seen time and time again instances in the CFL where there's kind of an established base of these are the guys that are going to be the big fish free agents. They go somewhere. They get, or even just a team that has kind of their star receiver. That guy goes down, And so it's next man up. Somebody has to fill that spot. This is your chance to show what you're made of. I don't think the Saskatchewan Roughriders were expecting to get nearly as much as they did out of Dohnte Meyers. I'm not saying that they didn't have any faith that he could. I'm saying is that, I'll put it this way. Do you think that when they threw Dohnte Meyers out there, after some guys like Schaefer Baker and whatnot went down, that they're like, oh yeah, this is a 1,000-yard receiver? My guess, probably not. I think they probably knew that, maybe he was capable of that, but I don't think that was an expectation. But the thing is, these guys that are getting signed to NFL futures deals, these guys that, even in the CFL, there's lots of players that will get, a good amount of players that will get, even just small stints in the NFL. You can look at guys like Drew Desjardins. You can look at guys like Ontario Wilson, a Joe. Numerous guys that will get kind of small. Nathan Rourke, you know what I mean? Small kind of bits in the NFL, whether it's a year, whether it's 6 months. But it's one of those things where why do they get that? Because when they got their chance, they absolutely capitalized on it. And they did everything that they could with it, and they took it, and they ran with it, quite literally. And so Dohnte, and so the NFL is not just looking for guys that are really, really talented, but guys that will seize that opportunity. Because if they're going to move to that really that next level in potentially being a guy that's like a starter in the NFL, which not a lot of guys will get there, but if we look at like a DeAndre Alford, he's a guy who did. You need to see a guy with that level of motivation, that level of drive, and being able to step up on that. Because there's a lot of talented players that are putting up. I'll put it this way: if you look at a Kenny Lawler is the best receiver in the CFL. He put up better numbers than almost everybody. You know what I mean? And he also has the consistency to back it up. And it's one of those things where if I was an NFL businessman, I would seriously consider a guy like Kenny Lawler. But I understand why maybe a guy like Dohnte Meyers gets that chance where Lawler doesn't, in the sense of Lawler's pretty much just settled into the CFL, and it's accepted that he's one of the CFL's best talents now and for years to come. Whereas with Dohnte Meyers, I think they feel they can maybe bring him into the NFL and get something out of him there. So maybe this is a guy that ends up in the practice roster. Maybe he goes further than that. Who knows? There's no guarantees with it. With it being a rookie's deal, all this means is that he's going to be getting some level of cash guaranteed, even if it's nothing ridiculously huge, in exchange for him not to be able to sign with any other team. And then they'll have their training camp, whatever it is, and maybe he'll make the team, maybe he won't. Best of luck to him in that regard. Congratulations to him on getting himself a NFL contract. And yeah, is there anything else you got there, Rick?
One last thing that I'm just going to mention for the Rider fans.
Yep.
They have 7 receivers still unsigned. And this is so
they're not going to be able to get all of them, but they got to get some of them.
I was going to say I don't follow the NFL as much per se, so I don't know what it's like when it comes to if you win a championship in the NFL, how a roster turnaround is, but when it's the CFL, it's almost 99% guaranteed that the roster that you have the following year there's going to be at least a quarter to half of it gone. Because people will want pay raises, people will want this, that, and the other, and you can't afford to pay everyone what they're worth. So people move on, but yeah, so Saskatchewan's going to take a big hit in the receiving group, is my honest opinion. But so that is that.
Whatever happens with Saskatchewan, we'll make sure we're covering it. So
yes,
you know that. So thank you guys so much for tuning into this video. Make sure you guys leave a like, share around the video, and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, if you guys haven't, make sure you guys join our Discord. Link in the description below, where we discuss all things CFL, NHL, all sorts of sports stuff, even some NFL from time to time. So make sure you guys go there. And also, if you're an NFL viewer interested in potentially learning some more Canadian football, make sure you guys check out our content. We cover the CFL extensively, as well as a bit of youth sports, which is Canadian college football, for those wondering. And so, yeah, we cover football up in the Great White North, so we'd love to see you guys stick around. So hope you guys enjoyed the video, and we'll see you guys next time.